M. Fletcher Brown here with another artist video blog for 2012 at KIX96country.com. Now, here in our studios today, we welcome all the way from New Jersey, by way of Boston, by way of Nashville. Please welcome Susan Cattaneo to Kix Country. Susan, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Nice to meet you.
Now, New Jersey, that's where your musical journey began, your life began.
That is where my life began, where all good country music stars come from, the state of New Jersey.
John Bon Jovi, if he can put out a country album, then we can say that it's okay.
Too. No, but I spent my summers in Arizona, and I was actually on a ranch out there for like 10 years. And so that's kind of, I think, where the country music thing first started for me. And I always was a singer, and my whole family sings, and so we would sing around the dining room table, and in 6-part harmony. It's pretty funny, and so I've always been a singer, and then I love the storytelling behind country music, which is kind of, I think, why it went in that direction.
But you didn't necessarily begin singing country, is that correct?
Well, I always loved Bonnie Raitt.
Oh yeah.
For me, like that, when I finally heard her, I was like, oh my God, this is the music that I love, because it's kind of like blues, folk, country, rock. And so I think that's kind of where it started for me. And I love her, and so I learned all of her songs, and then started writing my own songs that were kind of in that style. So kind of evolved from there.
Yeah, and you've worked with a number of artists and studio musicians over the years with your songwriting. But you've now I mentioned Boston earlier. You actually you still teach, or you?
I still teach.
Over at
Semester
Berkeley.
Begins next week, so I'm ready to go.
So she's touring in between semesters, teaching at Berkeley.
I am. I teach songwriting there, and I've been doing it for 13 years.
Wow.
Yeah, a long time.
So your students are probably pretty impressed and pretty. I mean, they actually say, well, I mean, if they're learning from someone who is actively singing and songwriting and playing, and I mean that's got to help them have some kind of hope for their education, and just going, man, this is great to be able to be close to this.
Yeah, I definitely think so, and I think the idea of being, I'm actually a touring musician, so I can kind of explain what that life is like for them. Because a lot of them, I don't know, especially because of reality TV and stuff like that, they think they're going to leave Berkeley and become famous immediately. And God bless them, I hope that happens, but a lot of it happens through hard work, and, and I think seeing me kind of go through the process of, as my manager often says, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And so, it's one fan at a time, and you gotta give it all, whether you're performing for 6 people or 6,000 people. And I think that they're seeing that in me, so that's pretty cool, I think, for them.
Okay, so your students, any of them in the years that you've been teaching, any of them said, hey, let me write with you, let me play with you, let me sing with you? I mean, do you let them get kind of, that kind of experience?
Well, it's kind of thing, like, while we're in school together, no, because I think that I'm in a position of being their teacher, and I think that I don't want to mess with that relationship, and the idea of, like, for me, co-writing is a really intimate experience where I'm going to share, I don't know, what's going on with my family, what's going on with my kids, and I don't know that I want my student to know that. But once they graduate and are out in the world, then yeah, sure, I've collaborated with students before.
All right, now your the albums that you release, all the songs on them are either written by you, co-written by you. Have you ever recorded a song with somebody else that just spoke to you, just said, you know what, I really want to put that song on my album?
Oh man, I want to do that, but I also, like, I am first and foremost a writer, so for me, if there's a chance to put a song that I've written out there, I'm going to do that. But when I tour and when I gig, I have a lot of covers kind of intermixed in there. Yeah, definitely. There are lots of songs where I think, someone was just asking me what my favorite country song was, which song I wish I had written. Yeah. And Walk Away Joe, for me, was like one of my favorite.
Trish Yearwood.
Oh man, just the writing on it is great, and so that would be one that I would record if I.
Well, let's talk about the single. Let's talk about Little Blue Sky.
Little Big Sky.
I'm sorry, Little Big Sky.
That's okay.
The CD cover's blue, and it's like I'm thinking blue. Don't think blue. Little Big Sky.
Yes.
Now, so is this about Arizona?
It's kind of about a lot of places. I wrote it because I lived in New York for a while, and at one point I was looking down the skyscrapers, and I was like, oh my gosh, look, there's the moon. And it was a street light. And I was like, oh my God, I need to get out of this city. And so I was thinking about the concept of kind of getting out into the wide open spaces. And a co-writer, friend of mine, had just come back from Guthrie, Oklahoma. and she was talking about her family out there and how her dad has always said, it's a place where you can see miles and miles of nothing but miles. And so we kind of collaborated on this. I had this title of Little Big Sky, and I'd started to kind of write about that, and then she brought that in, and we kind of created this song together. So.
All right. Well, I'm going to get out of the way. I'm going to let Susan play for you. She's going to play her single, Little Big Sky. And then if you want to, you can hear that at KIX96. We'll discuss that after she plays her song live here on KIX96country.com.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Cattaneo and Little Big Sky. That's a great song.
Thank you so much.
So now, real quick, you've worked with so many producers and other songwriters and artists. Like, who are some of the more impressive ones that you would say that you've had a chance to work with?
Well, I mean, working in Nashville, you know, recording in Nashville is just an amazing experience. And when I first started doing demos, I had no idea who was in the studio with me, because I had this great producer named Jan Stolpe from LA who was coming in, and he had a lot of friends. And so these people come in, and I would only meet them firsthand. I'd be like, "Oh, hi, Randy," and Randy plays dobro, and I'd be like, "Oh, hi, Pat, and you play guitar," and oh, and there's a you know, it was like Kevin who plays bass. Turns out Kevin plays for Brad Paisley. Pat Buchanan has played for, I don't know, everybody from Dolly Parton to Reba McEntire, and you know, Randy Kors is, you know, huge and has toured with everybody. So it was only afterwards that I realized, like, oh my God, I had famous people that I worked with. So I would say like one of my favorite people to work with is my producer Lauren Entris, who's produced Laurie McKenna, who had like a lot of hits with Faith Hill, and he's just great because I've worked with bigger producers and I tend to get really nervous. And so this is good because Lauren is really calm, and so every time I come into the studio with my like, how's it gonna be? Lauren would relax me, and I guess I would be able to sing better and perform better.
Well, obviously you're an exceptional songwriter, and you have a great voice.
Thank you.
What would you say that the addition of these musicians and these producers that's a great compliment to him. And have you been really just proud of everything that you've done coming in Nashville working with these folks?
Yeah, well, and in Boston, I have to say I have been so fortunate. I worked with great people. I just luck would have it, or it's worked out that I've been really great to have a bunch of musicians supporting me who are really talented. And the only thing, so I've never put out anything that I didn't absolutely love. I can honestly say that. Yes.
That's a good feeling.
I had a moment of like, nope, no, I didn't release that one. So
that's a really good feeling to have.
Yeah.
So if folks love Little Big Sky and
yes.
say that they have to hear it again,
they have to hear it. Hopefully they will. Yes.
Where can they get it?
Well, the cool thing is that nobody can pronounce my last name. Nobody can get Susan Cattaneo. So if you need to find me, or if you'd like to find me, I'm at susanmusic.com.
Okay, so remember that. You don't have to even pronounce her
awesome?
last name. See, she's taken that burden off of you.
I have.
SusanMusic.com.
And the cool thing is that we figured out there is no Susan in country music.
There's not?
See?
Right,
and everybody goes like,
Now I'm gonna spend the rest of the day like looking
Think
for a
about
Susan
that.
in country music.
I don't think there is one. So there's a tiny little void of Susanness that needs to be filled, and I'm going to step gracefully
Nashville
in.
needs a Susie. What's wrong with you?
So we had Susie Boggs, that was the only one, but no Susan.
No Susan. Oh, see, we found a half Susan.
There we
Susan
go.
Boggs. All right, so Susan Cattaneo, thanks so much for visiting
Thank you
us.
so much for seeing me.
Can folks find you on Facebook and Twitter? And
I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Amazon, I'm on iTunes, I'm on CD Baby.
She's everywhere.
I'm trying to be everywhere I can
She's
be.
everywhere. If you go to Boston, pick up a cream pie and go visit Susan.
And I'll be there.
All right. I'm M. Fletcher Brown. This is Susan Cattaneo. You want to hear Little Big Sky, you make sure you call us at KIX96. You know the request line number, so you can reach us there. And hopefully we'll see Susan again.
Hopefully.
All right, she'll be back with more Little Big Sky and songs like it here on another artist video blog at KIX96country.com.